So it's this Zen Flesh, Zen Bones is a book that we have here in the dojo, and it's got lots of little snippets in here, little parables, little stories that have been passed down in Zen kind of traditions, if you like. So this one's called Open Your Own Treasure House. And I apologize if I'm not pronouncing the names correctly. Daiju visited the master Baso in China. Baso asked, "What do you seek?" "Enlightenment," replied Daiju. "You have your own treasure house. Why do you search outside?" Basu asked. Daiju inquired, "Where is my treasure house?" Baso answered, "What you are asking is your treasure house." Daiju was enlightened. Ever after, he urged his friends, "Open your own treasure house and use those treasures." So, I know Basu and Daiju are talking about enlightenment here, but mostly, as I understand it, enlightenment is about being with what is right now and being very present to what is right now. So if you're going to be present to what's inside you at every moment, then that allows you, that internal awareness allows you to be, in a sense, enlightened. So that's one possibility in terms of how we can think about our internal awareness. And I have another story here, which is from Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind, Shinryu Suzuki. This is a favorite book of mine, and I know this is a favorite story of Sifu's. It's called The Marrow of Zen. Really thinking about the marrow as like the part inside our bones. So this is deep internal stuff. In the Zazen posture, your mind and body have great power to accept things as they are, whether agreeable or disagreeable. So this is about accepting things as they are for yourself. So I'm going to read this little bit of it. In our scriptures, it is said that there are 4 kinds of horses: excellent ones, good ones, poor ones, and bad ones. The best horse will run slow and fast, right and left, at the driver's will, before he sees the shadow of the whip. The second best will run as well as the first one does, just before the whip reaches its skin. The third one will run when it feels the pain on its body. The fourth will run after the pain penetrates to the marrow of its bones. You can imagine how difficult it is for the fourth one to learn how to run. When we hear this story, almost all of us want to be the best horse. If it is impossible to be the best one, we want to be the second best. This is, I think, the usual understanding of this story and of Zen. You may think that when you sit in Zazen, you will find out whether you are one of the best horses or one of the worst ones. Here, however, there is a misunderstanding of Zen. If you think the aim of Zen practice is to train you to become one of the best horses, you will have a big problem. This is not the right understanding. If you practice Zen in the right way, it does not matter whether you are the best horse or the worst one. When you consider the mercy of Buddha, how do you think Buddha will feel about the 4 kinds of horses? He will have more sympathy for the worst one than for the best one. When you are determined to practice Zazen with the great mind of Buddha, you will find the worst horse is the most valuable one. In your very imperfections, you will find the basis for your firm, way-seeking mind. Those who can sit perfectly physically usually take more time to obtain the true way of Zen, the actual feeling of Zen, the marrow of Zen. But those who find great difficulties in practicing Zen will find more meaning in it. So I think that sometimes the best horse may be the worst horse, and the worst horse can be the best horse. there's some more, but then he goes on to say, if you find it impossible to sit because of some pain or some physical difficulty, then you should sit anyway, using a thick cushion or a chair. Even though you are the worst horse, you will get to the marrow of Zen. Suppose your children are suffering from a hopeless disease. You do not know what to do. You cannot lie in bed. Normally, the most comfortable place for you would be a warm, comfortable bed. But now, because of your mental agony, you cannot rest. You may walk up and down, in and out, but this does not help. Actually, the best way to relieve your mental suffering is to sit in zazen, even in such a confused state of mind and bad posture. If you have no experience of sitting in this kind of difficult situation, you are not a Zen student. No other activity will appease your suffering. In other restless positions, you have no power to accept your difficulties. But in zazen posture, which you've acquired by long, hard practice, your mind and body have great power to accept things as they are, whether they are agreeable or disagreeable. When you feel disagreeable, it is better for you to sit. There is no other way to accept your problem and work on it. Whether you are the best horse or the worst, or whether your posture is good or bad, is out of the question. Everyone can practice zazen, and in this way work on his problems and accept them. When you are sitting in the middle of your own problem, which is more real to you, your problem or you yourself? The awareness that you are here right now is the ultimate fact. This is the point you will realize by zazen practice. In continuous practice, under a succession of agreeable and disagreeable situations, you will realize the marrow of Zen and acquire its true strength. So I think that's really beautiful. It really speaks to accepting whatever it is that you're feeling inside at any time, and just really being present to what is true at that moment in time. And Zen talks about, well, Suzuki talks in here about really that you are there all the time, whether or not you're feeling joy or you're feeling sadness or frustration or anger or disappointment or happiness or bliss, anything. Behind any of these emotions, there is still you. And it can be very helpful to be aware of those internal aspects of yourself and those internal emotions. And when you can be with those emotions and when you can sit with them, when you can feel them in the marrow of yourself and realize that they are not your marrow, they are not yourself, they are just the emotions that you are sitting with in the moment, that's powerful for you. It's a way to pay attention. It's a way to just be with what is so for yourself. You can also use your internal awareness to pay attention to what information your body is giving you at any moment in time too. You know, when you feel fear, there's like the butterflies that happen in your stomach, right? That happens. You feel that. When you feel anger, you feel yourself all tighten up and get, all tense. When you feel disappointment, something else occurs in your body. And I don't know what it is for you, but, the different feelings that we get are our physiological body is informed by our feelings. And the really great thing about meditation is that when we breathe into our body, our physiology changes. So when you are feeling distressed, or when you are feeling anxious or frustrated or angry or whatever it is, when you breathe and when you pay attention to your breath, you are actually informing your body what kind of state you'd like to be in. You allow your breath out to be a little longer than the breath in. That's going to have a calming effect on your body. So you can view this in both ways. You can pay attention to your body and see what's happening right here, right now. And then you can sit and be with it and breathe with it. And as you breathe and pay attention to your breathing, then that will naturally allow whichever emotion it was to shift and to dissipate, so you can accept being with yourself right here and right now, and whatever yourself is in this moment. So we're going to practice that right now, and we're going to take some moments to sit and to meditate and to breathe and to be with the marrow of ourselves. Thank you. We sit with spine straight, chin parallel to the floor, eyes closed and slightly upturned. And we'll take a few breaths together. And start with all the breath out. Breathe in. Hold. Exhale. Breathe in down to the belly. Hold. Exhale, slightly longer than the inhale. In. Hold. Out. In. Hold. Out. In. Hold. Out. Last one. In. Hold. Out. Double exhale on the last breath. Allow all the breath to come in. Allow the breath to go out. Notice inside if you're holding on to any emotion. Notice how it sits in your body, how it shows up. And breathe gently around that emotion. And notice yourself. The self that's separate from the emotion, but still connected. Pay attention to your breathing, to your breath. You could pay attention to the movement of your abdomen. And if thoughts come up, allow them to gently go as you direct your thoughts back to paying attention to your internal state, to your internal awareness. And notice what you notice. And celebrate coming back to the awareness. You did it.